In the history of my channel, you'll only find 2 instances that I use a bad word. In the names video, I called Germanic names badass, and in the bad etymologies video, I covered the origins of the word shit. This is because, although I will cuss in real life, I want my content to be used for education, as well as entertainment, so I try to make a small bit of professionalism around here. However, there's a time and place for everything, and now is the time to educate ourselves on the origins of those words we can't say around Grandma, until she says them around you. To get one out of the way, go watch my aforementioned video about bad etymologies, link in the description. A bad word that's very well documented is one straight out of the Bible, damn. Damn comes from the Old French damner, meaning to damn or convict, which came from the Latin verb damnare, to declare guilty in court, which came from a noun, damnum, which meant loss or damage or something that is a penalty. Here we have 2 possible Proto-Indo-European words that came to be that Latin word damnum. Dap, meaning to apportion or exchange, or dipno, meaning an expense or an investment. I lean more towards the latter. I can see how an expense can become a loss, which would become a sentencing, but nevertheless, this word is interesting to me. I've always assumed that all of the bad words were Germanic, but this one has a Romance origin, which is pretty cool to me. Moving on, ass. It's an American bastardization, jerkization of arse. We can see this change between an RS becoming just an S in other words like burst and bust, horse and hoss, and ironically, curse and cuss. That's an American thing that we changed from older and British English. Arse comes from the Old English erse, which is from the Proto-Germanic arsots, which is from the Proto-Indo-European ors. It's staying pretty similar for a long time. And this is obviously related to the modern German arsch, as well as the Greek oros, which means the tail or rump of an animal, and Hittite, which is an extinct Proto-Indo-European language that does not have any more descendants, arash, meaning buttock. That's the first time I've talked about Hittite on this channel, which I think is interesting. Of all words to bring them up, this is it. Hittite is like one of the oldest Indo-European languages that we have written down. Some of the Hittite sources that we have are older than Greek and Sanskrit, and definitely older than Latin. Fuck is where we finally hit an interesting problem. It's such a taboo word, few people have written it down. In fact, it wasn't in any English dictionaries until the year 1965. The origins of fuck are therefore murky, to say the least. And the Edom Online page goes on and on and on about possible origins. That's a link in the description too, but I'm going to boil it down to what I think is the best possible explanations. The best origin is Germanic, I say. Possibly through Scottish, but they would have gotten it through Norse. There are lots of words like the German fick and the Swedish fucka, which both mean the same thing as the English fuck. These came from words which meant to itch or to flick back and forth, and later they got the more modern connotation. You get what I'm saying. There are only a few cases from before the 17th century that the word fuck has been used. And mostly it was to like bully bishops or monks that were accused of being a lot less than holy with the women in town. So we can see that the connotation's been there for a long time, and that it was so bad to say that you only said it in cases where it was absolutely true. Now let's move on to the last bad word that I ever learned, cunt. Fun fact, I thought the C word was crap until I was 16 years old. I was sheltered. Cunt came from the Proto-Germanic kunton, but once again the origin is disputed from there. It could be from the Proto-Indo-European gu, which means a hollow place, the Latin cunnis, which I don't have to tell you why, you're cunning linguists, and possibly the last dispute is from the Proto-Indo-European gwen, which will lead us to a Proto-Indo-European word web. Here we can see how the Proto-Indo-European gwen led to the words misogyny, androgynous, and gynecology, from the Greek guni, meaning woman. Also, the word queen comes from the Proto-Germanic queno, and one of our words of the day comes from the Proto-Germanic kunton. So remember, kids, if someone calls you a cunt, they might be calling you a queen, but probably not. Let's finish with one that you probably already know something about the origin of: bitch. Old English bicca meant female dog, as well as a female wolf and a female fox, and a few other animals just kind of randomly in different instances. But here we lose the trail. We think it comes from the Old Norse bikuna, which would come from the Lap. Lap is a non-Indo-European language from around the top of Finland. Pitya. But maybe the Lap got it from the Norse. We can't really tell the timeline from the sources that we have. But either way, it's unclear where that would have come from. So in closing, we can see that bad words can fit in two categories. Some have murky origins, where we can't really sort out the history of them. Others have very clear, strong origins, but usually in concepts completely different from their modern connotations. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't inflammatory in any way. And I'll go back to never cussing again, or only cussing when I think it's funny. Thanks for watching, Word Nerd. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. I'm caffeinated.